Welcome back to Multi-Mind, Mental Wellness for the Multi-Hyphenate. I'm Artis Desjardins. We're getting close to the end of Q1, and if you've been following along, you've been building, strategizing, staying patient with the process, and maybe something is starting to work. One of your ventures is getting traction. Client inquiries are increasing. Revenue is picking up. That's amazing. That's what we've been working toward. When one venture scales, your other ventures don't automatically pause. So today we're talking about the mental gymnastics of scaling one venture while maintaining another without burning out or dropping any balls. Because growth creates its own kind of chaos. I landed 3 consulting clients in 2 weeks. This is it. This is the momentum I've been working toward. And I'm excited. This is revenue. This is validation. This is proof the strategy is working. But then I look at my calendar and realize I still have my 9 to 5. I still have content to create. I still have business systems to maintain. And now I have 3 client deliverables due within the next 2 weeks. So I'm doing the mental math. Consulting needs 15 hours this week. My 9 to 5 takes 45 hours. Content creation is getting skipped. Business development is on hold. And sleep is optional. And here's the tension. I want consulting to scale. That's the whole point. But I don't want to destroy the content foundation I've been building. And I definitely don't want to burn out before I even quit my 9 to 5. This is the moment I realize scaling isn't just doing more. It's strategically redistributing limited resources across multiple ventures. And that redistribution is a mental load nobody talks about. Because when consulting was slow, I had mental space for everything. I could create content, build systems, do outreach, maintain relationships. There was room. But now, with 3 active clients, that room is gone. And I'm making impossible choices. Do I skip this week's YouTube video to deliver for clients? Do I maintain content but deliver mediocre client work? Or do I do both and just not sleep? None of these feel like winning. Scaling for multi-hyphenates is so mentally exhausting because growth in one venture doesn't give you more hours. It just demands more of the hours you already have. When you're building while employed, your time is already maxed out. You've got 40 to 50 hours for your 9 to 5, 10 to 20 hours for business building, and the rest for life maintenance. When consulting clients increase, those hours have to come from somewhere. And what compounds is that you feel guilty no matter what you choose. If you focus on consulting, the revenue generating venture, you feel guilty about neglecting content. If you maintain content creation, you feel guilty about not giving clients full attention. If you pause everything to handle the influx, you feel guilty about losing momentum. There's no guilt-free choice when resources are finite. Plus, there's the fear. What if I scale wrong and it collapses? If you go all in on consulting and stop creating content, will your funnel dry up in 6 months? If you maintain content but underdeliver for clients, will you lose referrals and reputation? Scaling feels high stakes because one wrong move could derail everything. And the brutal truth is that the other ventures don't care that one is growing. They still need attention. Your YouTube channel doesn't say, oh, you got consulting clients? Cool. I'll just maintain myself. Your business systems don't update themselves. Your personal brand doesn't stay visible without content. Scaling one venture while maintaining others requires active triage. And triage is exhausting. But what actually works is stage scaling with explicit maintenance plans, not reactive scrambling. Strategic redistribution. Stage 1, identify your scaling venture. Ask yourself which venture is showing growth signals right now. For me, it's consulting. Client inquiries are increasing. Revenue is picking up. This is the venture that's ready to scale. That venture gets growth focus. Everything else goes into maintenance mode. This isn't forever. This is for this season. Stage 2, define maintenance mode for other ventures. Maintenance doesn't mean abandonment. It means what's the minimum to keep this venture alive and visible. Here's an example. Content creation in maintenance mode. Instead of 2 videos a week, drop to 1 video a week. Instead of daily social posts, batch and schedule weekly. Instead of new content formats, recycle existing content. Instead of growing, maintain current audience. Another example, business development in maintenance mode. Instead of aggressive outreach, nurture existing relationships. Instead of new offerings, focus on referral generation. And instead of building new systems, maintain current processes. The key is to be explicit about what maintenance looks like. Don't just do less and feel guilty. Decide what minimum value maintenance is, commit to it, and release guilt about the rest. For me right now, one YouTube video per week, weekly social content batch scheduled on Sundays. That's it. That maintains visibility without consuming the hours I need for client delivery. Stage 3, the time reallocation math. When one venture scales, you're redistributing hours. Be precise. Before scaling, think of it this way. Consulting, 8 hours a week. Content, 6 hours a week. Business ops, 3 hours a week. Client acquisition, 3 hours a week. Now, during your scaling, consulting growth, consulting, get 15 hours a week for client delivery. Content with 3 hours a week. Maintenance, business ops, be 1 hour a week. Only essentials. And client acquisition, 1 hour a week. Referrals only. So the total remains the same, 20 hours a week, but distribution shifts. And the critical part, I know this is temporary. I'm not abandoning content forever. I'm scaling consulting now so I can quit my 9 to 5 by December 2026. Once I'm self-employed, I'll have 40 plus more hours per week to redistribute. And stage 4, the scaling/maintenance tool. This isn't permanent imbalance, it's strategic toggling. Q1, consulting scales, content maintains. Q2, consulting stabilizes, content scales, systems maintain. Q3, systems scale, content maintains, and consulting stabilizes. You're not trying to scale everything simultaneously. You're toggling focus based on what's ready to grow. And eventually, maybe 12 to 18 months out, multiple ventures are stable enough that maintenance requires less active management. In stage 5, the scaling capacity checkpoint. Every 2 to 4 weeks during scaling, check, is the scaling venture stable? So am I delivering quality or just quantity? 2, are maintenance ventures actually maintained or am I accidentally abandoning them? And 3, am I burning out? Is this pace sustainable for 3 to 6 months? If the answer to number 3 is no, something has to give. Either reduce client load in scaling venture, pause growth temporarily, or hire help if revenue supports it. Last week, I realized I can't sustain 3 active clients plus content creation plus my 9 to 5 for more than 6 weeks. So I'm not taking new clients until mid-March. And that's not failure. That's strategic capacity management. The goal isn't to scale forever at maximum capacity. It's to scale strategically in seasons when growth is possible. Scaling one venture should mean other ventures get less attention. And that's not failure. That's strategic resource allocation. You're not abandoning everything. You're toggling between growth and maintenance based on what each venture needs right now. So here's your integration work for this week. If you're currently scaling one venture or about 2, step 1, identify your scaling venture. Which venture is showing growth signals? Which venture needs to grow for you to hit your goals? Step 2, define maintenance for everything else. For each non-scaling venture, write down what's the minimum to keep this visible and functional, what can pause without consequences, and what must continue even during scaling. Step 3, time reallocation. Write down your current hours per venture. Then write down your scaling distribution. Make sure total hours don't increase. You're redistributing, not adding. Step 4, set a scaling checkpoint date. In 4 weeks, reassess. Is scaling sustainable? Are maintained ventures actually maintained? And do I need to adjust? If you're not currently scaling, use this framework as preparation. When growth comes, and it will, you'll know how to handle it. Because I learned scaling without strategy leads to burnout. Scaling with strategy leads to sustainable growth. You're building towards December 2026. That's multiple seasons of toggling between growth and maintenance across multiple ventures. Learn to do this strategically now. Future you will thank you. Next week is our season 1 finale, Q1 Reset, your multi-venture mental wellness audit. We're looking back at what worked, what didn't, and how to approach Q2 with clarity and intention. If you're scaling one venture and feeling guilty about maintaining others, I want you to know strategic imbalance isn't failure. It's sophisticated resource management. And toggling between growth and maintenance is how multi-hyphenates actually succeed long-term. If you want to be a part of this podcast, submit a voice note or message. Go to multimindpodcast.com and tell me, are you currently scaling one venture? How are you managing the other ventures? What's your biggest challenge with growth? Keep it under 60 seconds. And if this episode helped you think strategically about scaling, subscribe for next week's season finale, leave a rating or review, and share with the multi-hyphenate navigating growth. Remember, your mental wellness doesn't have a side hustle. It's the main event. I'm Artis Desjardins, and this is Multimind. I'll see you next week.